Hello, and welcome to Hey, I Loved That Movie, the podcast where we rewatch the films we loved when we were younger to see if they still hold up. I'm Dan.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Helena.
And for this episode, we watched Dracula, Dead and Loving It.
Never seen it before.
Yeah, I hadn't seen this one before either, surprisingly.
I watched this so much as a kid. So much. I had this on tape, recorded on tape from the TV.
Nice. What adverts?
I can't. This was when I was so young that I can't remember.
Maybe it was a BBC one then.
Maybe, but it was just a blank tape. We didn't ever write anything on it, and it was so hard to find.
Huh. If only that was a solution.
I don't know why we never wrote anything on it. I think it also had another film on it as well. I can't remember what the other film was. I love this. I love this film. I still kind of enjoy it. I know it's not as good as other Leslie Nielsen films.
Yeah, it's weird. My relationship with Leslie Nielsen, so in that I absolutely loved Airplane as a kid, and then didn't watch a single other film of his.
Yeah,
I thought they all looked bad, and I looked at The Naked Gun and I was like, no, that looks terrible, I don't want to watch that, and apparently it's very good.
Yeah, I've seen Naked Gun. Naked Gun's very good, but...
This is hands down the worst film he's ever made.
Really? The one thing I found with this was that the Leslie Nielsen bits were good.
Yeah. This is... So this is... What's his name?
Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks. This is what Mel Brooks' last film, because it did so badly that he stopped making films.
It's another career ender. He
hasn't made... No, he's still like a comedian. He still writes, but he hasn't directed since this film. He's still a very successful comedian. But yeah, he's still making films because of this one. And I know this is a bad film, and I'm not... It's not funny to me because it's nostalgic. It's funny to me because it's formative. Like this caused my sense of humor. This Airplane and Naked Gun. What was the other one?
Yeah, Naked Gun would be the other one.
Yeah, and the Naked Gun caused my sense of humor to be what it is.
Yeah, that's how I'm like with Airplane and Monty Python's Holy Grail. Yeah, they're my two like humor forming movies.
So I still find this funny, but because it hits that real core to my sense of humor kind of funny.
It is. I had a like fine time watching this. I guess I went in with higher hopes. I was expecting kind of Airplane level of just continuous one-liners and constant gags, and like there are constant gags. And it is very funny, but it is slightly toned down, which sounds weird for it being like this really amped up gothic horror parody.
Yeah. Well,
but the one set in the present that's not got any sort of elaborate vampire shit going on in it is way more intense and way funnier.
Well, it's Mel Brooks, not the... What are they called? The guys that make the Airplane films?
Is it the Abrams brothers, maybe?
No, it's the Zucker twins.
Yeah.
I think they're called the Zucker twins.
Hang on.
They make like Airplane, Naked Gun, Airplane 2... they make those films. This was Mel Brooks, which is a slightly...
Jim Abrahams. He's the... Yeah.
It's like a slightly different kind of slapstick Mel Brooks has.
Yeah, like I've seen Men in Tights and Blazing Saddles before.
You ever seen Young Frankenstein?
I don't think I have. I need to watch that because I know that apparently Gene Wilder is amazing in it.
He's so fun.
I've seen Young Frankenstein, the CBBC TV show.
Not that. It's Young Frankenstein.
No, that's Young Dracula. Sorry, ignore me.
Young Frankenstein is, I think, the one before this one, and has Gene Wilder and doesn't have Leslie Nielsen in it.
Okay.
Very different. This is our first Leslie Nielsen film, I think.
I think so.
A legend of comedy.
Yeah.
Started out as a serious actor, and I can't deal with that.
No, I mean we'll talk about it when we get to the Airplane episode, but
he's a very, very good serious actor as well. That's the thing. He wasn't. I remember watching. So I watched all of like every Leslie Nielsen film as a kid because no one else makes this kind of comedy, and it hits that bit of my brain that I find funny. That I find like just unbelievably funny. I I used to watch a show about, and I can't remember what it was called, but it was about a Canadian Mountie in America with a blind dog.
Avon of the Yukon?
Maybe. Or
was it a cartoon?
No, it was a live action.
It
was a live action crime TV show.
Fargo?
He would like go around
no, that's not,
catching
that's Minnesota.
criminals. It wasn't a kids show. It was a very serious and
it had Leslie Nielsen in.
It did, as a serious actor. He turned up in it at one point as a serious actor, and I couldn't deal. I didn't know how to. I was expecting him to be funny, and he wasn't. As like an 11-year-old child watching
that reminds me of
Canadian
when I watched
American crime show.
So David Tennant had just blown up with Doctor Who. This is 2010, and it was a 4-episode BBC drama called Single Father.
Yeah, not.
And it's about this guy he's got 3 kids and a daughter and a stepdaughter. And then his wife she's cycling down a hill and gets hit by a police car that goes through some red blue lighting.
Yep, not.
And then it's about how he deals with the aftermath of that. And it's really fucking sad.
Intense.
Yeah. There was a lot.
Yeah.
And I was
that sounds.
I was expecting Doctor Who, David Tennant. That's all like time is wibbly wobbly. Oh, don't look. And instead, I just got
sad.
Oh my
dad,
God, life is precious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had that with. I had the same sort of thing where I'd watched Community, and I was like, Alison Brie is cool. I want to watch more things she's in, and then put on Mad Men, and I was like, the fuck is this?
Yep.
It's a very different vibe.
Yeah.
When's the funny happening? I don't know why I started watching Due North. I swear it's called Due North, and it's not a show that I should be watching as like a British kid watching this Canadian American crime drama. I don't know how I found it, but yeah, he was in it, and it was weird. Leslie Nielsen's incredible. I don't know why. I mean, I understand why there aren't other films like this, because this kind of comedy is so fucking hard to do.
Yeah.
And do it well. Because if you do it badly, this is the worst kind of comedy you could ever do.
Yeah, exactly.
It's called Anchorman.
Yes, thank you. It is called Anchorman. But it's slapstick done so seriously.
Yeah.
Like everything else is serious but the slapstick. And I love
there's no straight man comedian dynamic.
No.
Like everyone is the straight man, and then the circumstances are just batshit.
You just ignore the slapstick as an act, as the characters had to ignore this dumb shit happening and just keep going. And it scratches some part of my brain, and no other actor can do it like Leslie Nielsen can. Yeah. None of them. And no other director and like writer can do it. Other than there's a couple. The guy that did Kung Fu Hustle does it really well, and there's an Italian director that does it really well. But they don't make that many of these kinds of films. But I love this film as a kid. It's so stupid.
It is stupid. I'll give you that.
It is very silly. There were some bits that I found really funny, but yeah, I think overall definitely didn't land quite as well as some of the other films like this. But that part of that might be the lack of nostalgia for it.
No, I think a lot of it didn't land.
Yeah.
it's just so core to my sense of humor that I still find the incredibly stupid jokes funny, because no other film makes these kinds of jokes.
Yeah. I've thought of the other film for me that's like that, but you guys probably won't let me do it. That's Kung Pao, which is that ridiculous martial arts one where he's green screened himself.
I've tolerated that one once, and I will not tolerate it twice.
It's that kind of humor though, where like if you don't like it, if you like it, it's amazing. It's the funniest thing on the planet.
Yeah,
you'll never find anything funnier. It is the most excruciating thing to sit through, and that's how I felt about Anchorman.
What was that film that we did? That fighting film that's got comedy in it.
Kung Fu Hustle.
Kung Fu Hustle. Yeah, that one. That one's got a similar kind of absurdist.
Yeah,
like,
that's why
I
love that film so much. That's why I love that. I love that film.
But yeah, the plot is Dracula is back baby, and he's moving to England.
It is basically the plot of Dracula, which I wasn't expecting.
It's just Dracula with jokes.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's a parody.
Slapstick comedy and jokes, that's it.
Like Dracula
Don't reinvent the real
shit and falling down the stairs.
Amazing.
Or the absolutely funniest bit, which is when his coffin is in the boat and it gets loose. And it's just sliding around.
That was pretty good. I enjoyed big parts. I liked the running gag of the shadow kind of doing its own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
That tickled me.
So it starts with Renfield, who is a lawyer.
Yeah, I think he's a lawyer because he's there to like settle some estate business or something.
Yeah, to find Dracula in his castle. It starts with him in a car, and it's a dumb joke where they're like, "Oh, we need to get there before sundown."
And and he's complaining about the state of the roads.
Yeah. And they're like,
hasn't been to bloody modern day England, has he?
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
Oh man, but yeah, they get to, the village scene is it's not funny. I understand it's not funny. It's so core that I find it funny. And not the guy shaking his head going, you can't go up that. The woman and the neck kills me. It's the funniest shit to me.
The neck?
I have a cross for you, take the cross. It's so quotable.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the neck. Sorry, yeah, when she's wobbling her throat. Sorry, I thought you still meant inside the stagecoach.
In the village.
Right, she's like, take the and they're all just looking at her. And she's obviously wiggling her throat with her hand.
He's leaning down to look. It's it's a straight-faced slapstick joke.
Yeah, but no one says anything, but they all look. They all sort of give her a side eye as she walks away. What the fuck was she doing?
I love,
as if everything else that's happened has been normal.
Yeah, I love the take the cross. No, take the goddamn cross.
Yeah, okay, and then she's like, okay, that'll be 15 silver pieces.
And then her walking away, still doing the neck thing.
Oh, and they're trying to carry on the conversation.
It's so funny to me. I don't know why. And then he meets Dracula, who is Leslie Nielsen, incredible actor.
Yes.
Heart of this film, carries it.
Yeah, he is great as Dracula. Comedy Dracula, he is great as.
Yeah.
And this is
particular highlights.
Well. Oh no, I was going to say, this film came out later than I thought it would have done.
1980, isn't it?
1995, this one.
Shit, really? Oh, Airplane's 1980, isn't it?
Yeah, Airplane's 1980, yeah. This is 95. I was like, oh, that is a bit later than I thought it'd be.
Huh. Yeah. I would have paid money. I would have not paid money. I would have bet money on this being before, because Airplane feels so much more, refined.
I think this was... I thought it would be, late 80s, very start of the 90s, but yeah, I
guess because it's a period drama, you can't go based on the fashion.
Yeah.
But also, my lord, them puff sleeves. Those felt 80s. That was maybe 1880s, but definitely still 80s.
Definitely 80s. They got the fashion down.
And the nylon satin that she's wearing.
Yeah.
She just reflecting like she's a fucking high-vis jacket.
Yeah. The first joke we get with Leslie Nielsen is him falling down the stairs.
Yes, because he slips on bat poo.
Yeah. It's very much okay. This is slapstick.
This is what the comedy is. But again, just gets up and everyone moves on. And then he takes off his hair as a hat, and it's great.
Yes, I loved his hair. His hair hat.
Just has normal hair for the whole film.
But he's like, I'm fine. And then his shadow's wincing and climbing up the stairs slower than him.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, Renfield is there to sort out Dracula's estate. And Dracula's like, I'm going to turn him into a servant of mine.
Yeah, makes him into a thrall.
But first, during the first night he's there, Dracula's brides try to seduce Renfield.
Yeah.
With the most dramatic floating you've ever seen.
Yeah, and the most dramatic hitting a bedside table.
Yeah, I do like how he's like, what are you doing to the furniture?
No. What are you doing? Yeah. And then Dracula comes in, tells them off. They start to leave and he's like, walk, and they just stomping. Again, some part of me finds that really funny.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to float. And the little one-liners in this are also really good.
Yeah, of course.
Where like Renfield's going, "Oh, it was terrible. They're unimaginable. The heaving bosoms and beautiful women. Have you ever been to Paris?" It was like Paris, and they just move on. That's such a good joke. Oh man, I need to stop talking about this. You people, I liked pretty much every bit of it.
I was like, she's alive. She's Nosferatu. She's Italian.
She's Italian. Oh, I love her. So within they go to England. First he turns Renfield into a thrall who keeps falling asleep too quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah, it was like, you are feeling sleepy, and he's just out. And like, no, I'm not finished yet.
Not yet. Wake up. Renfield is incredibly stupid. Like, Renfield is brilliantly dumb in this whole film.
Yeah, and he really it really takes on that like Igor kind of personality.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like looking after on the trip to England, and the coffin gets free.
Oh yeah,
your one job is to like watch my coffin.
Yeah, it gets free and nearly kills him.
Yeah.
But I just love how that's made by them like tipping the camera and shoving the coffin.
Yeah.
That must have been so like, it's just one of those things that must be so fun to film.
Oh, this film looks like it's so fun to make. This is one of those films where you're like, they all had a great time making this film.
There's quite a lot of cutting away from other people's faces, which is always a good sign.
Yeah.
100%. This was one of those films where like they tried to make each other, like, part of the point is trying to make each other laugh. And I think Leslie Nielsen and Mel Brooks kept doing that.
Yeah, definitely.
As Dracula and Van Helsing. I think that was all they did on set, was try to make each other laugh. But yeah, then we get to meet the Doctor. I forgot what his name is.
Harker, is it?
Harker, yeah. In an opera. Where Dracula tells a woman that she needs to go in and tell
he
the
wants
Doctor
to be announced,
to meet her outside.
I guess.
Yeah, he's like, come and meet her outside. She just forgets.
Yeah.
But we get to meet the Doctor, who is a psychotherapist.
Yeah, he owns a sanitarium,
enema-based asylum.
Yeah, it's an insane asylum, but his only treatment seems to be enemas.
Give me an enema. His daughter, who is
had two daughters, aren't they? Mina and the other
a
one.
Woman.
Mina
Much
and
like with
is it
a
Mina
lot
and
of
Lucy?
old writing, she exists. That's about all she gets.
Yeah.
Lucy, right? Her name's Lucy?
I think it's Lucy, yeah.
There's
and then
Lucy, because the other one is Mina, yeah.
Yeah. And then, is it Mina's fiance?
No, so Lucy's engaged to
Right,
Harker?
Lucy's fiance. Who is an idiot.
He's the British one.
Profoundly stupid. I love the joke that they've been engaged for 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's never touched her.
Yeah.
And you touch her like that? How dreadful. Oh, man. So yeah, they've been engaged forever.
He is reserved sexually.
Yes. He's English.
And yeah, because the Dracula's kind of enticed by Lucy stripping in the window, and so he turns into a bat to fly over.
Yeah, because she's bought the place next to the insane asylum. And unfortunately, Renfield is placed in the insane asylum.
Yes.
After telling everyone that he, was the servant of Dracula.
Yep. And then he eats some bugs.
Yeah, and like, Dracula's reward is like, you will eat bugs.
Yes, you'll only eat lesser life forms and bugs, which I think is in the original novel.
Yeah.
But Renfield will just leap across the table to eat bugs. And thus he is given an enema.
Yeah.
The Doctor's only thing is to give people enemas. So put him in a straitjacket and give him an enema.
No, wait, give him an enema first and then put him in a straitjacket.
Yeah.
He's so. I think that Peter McNichol is really fantastic. That's Renfield. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he does an amazing job. Like he does the character 100%.
Yes.
and he couldn't. Like it would be bad if it was done not like this. The thing is, it has to be done straight faced, but 100%.
Oh yeah, it's melodrama to the nines.
Yeah, but like it's deadpan, like it's as straight faced as possible, which is a very challenging thing to do. Like do slapstick, but be deadly serious about it.
Yeah, but it wouldn't work otherwise.
Yeah, like no goofball faces, no like ooh. You're not allowed to react to the slapstick. You just have to do it.
You have to like. It's almost like they're trying to out straight man each other a lot of the time.
Yeah,
like the bit where he's Van Helsing's examining. Like Lucy gets Leslie Nielsen gets into her room eventually. He flies into her window first because. Obviously. I do like that he when he's a bat he still has his face.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he bites her and drains her of her blood, but not enough to kill her.
I also love the sound effect for the biting.
Oh yeah,
it's like the straw
scratching noises and then straw. She's amazing.
Oh yeah, the bit at the start is so funny when Renfield cuts his fit, gets a paper cut on the contract.
Yeah,
just squirting blood over it.
So much blood.
Absolutely spurting, and Dracula's just like.
There's so much blood in this film.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
There's so much. Yeah. Yeah. The straw sound effects, perfect.
Brilliant with the little gurgle as well.
I love a good ridiculous sound effect, but for something where it shouldn't be.
It's so good.
But yeah, when he's like 3 tiny puncture marks on her throat. 3, and he polishes the lens. Like, it's like two tiny puncture marks on her throat.
So they call Van Helsing, who is Mel Brooks.
Yeah, I did like how when he's doing when you first meet him, he's doing an autopsy, and he's like, "This will show who's who's man enough to get through this," and he's got a huge crowd behind him, and they're just fainting one by one.
Yeah, it's to see who's a practitioner
who can stomach it basically,
and who is playing doctor, and he's just like horrifically ripping open a body,
and then he hands intestines. Like, don't worry, there's plenty to go around.
He's like, as you can see, when we open the body, it goes from a wonderful pink to a dead green.
It did remind me of that one science class.
Yeah.
Where I passed out because they dissected an eyeball.
They dissected a what?
This is a...
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever passed out.
Oh, I have a few times. I once passed out in front of my entire primary school.
Damn.
Were you in primary school?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was
Otherwise, that's a weird coincidence.
Yeah, no, I was in like year 4. And I was part of like a poetry reading thing about pirates. So I'm at the front in assembly.
No,
so,
that's
like,
stressful.
The whole school's there. It was really hot. I think I had a paper cut as well. And it gets to the bit where the evil pirate...
And then Dracula was over your shoulder like...
No, it was like between my fingers as well. It was horrible. But yeah, so it gets to the bit where the evil pirate dies. And I just fucking pass out. And everyone starts clapping because they're like, yay, the evil pirate's died. And the teachers are like, shit, that wasn't supposed to happen.
They're like, damn, he's good. Wait, no, he's not good. He's the opposite of good.
I remember coming to and having some Smarties and going home.
And then you were a fainting goat at every opportunity to get more of them sweet Smarties.
Hell yeah, get some Smarties.
Yeah, at that point you're just training the children to faint.
Yeah.
I remember being morbidly fascinated with a kid fainted when I was in primary school. I thought it was really exciting because he got to go away in an ambulance, but like obviously we didn't see anything because as soon as he went down, like the teachers like kept him well separate from everyone and made sure he was okay. It was a school trip.
Nobody looked.
Yeah, a little white tent. Nah, he was genuinely fine. I think he hurt his arm. Like one of those things where like he was fine from the fainting, but the actual landing was the bit that kind of did him in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I passed out once a few years ago, and luckily there was like a bin that my face hit, because if it didn't, it would have hit the wall, and that would have been much worse.
Better than the bin that you trod on that went through your foot.
Yeah, better than that, yeah. So I had like a cut on my nose and stuff, but it was better than proper like face planting the wall.
Yeah, that's probably good.
Yeah.
To be fair, didn't you face plant, some timber at some point?
Yeah, there was that as well.
Out?
Yeah.
Dan, are you okay? Just overall,
I think he's just clumsy, but
clumsy sometimes. Like clumsy a couple of times, and then just passed
sometimes
out a few
blood.
times. Yeah.
I fainted once, I think, but like I felt faint, and then I laid down, and then I think maybe I fainted or maybe I didn't. It was hard to say.
Yeah, that's the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
You definitely learn the hard way that you don't go, well, I'll make it back to my bedroom. I'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
No, you just sit. You fucking sit down. As soon as you get the fuzzy eyes, you sit down.
Yeah, or one time I was giving blood, and they shouldn't put anyone off giving blood because it was fine. But I suddenly my arm hurt a little bit. Yeah, Dracula was there, like
They used a straw.
They told me it was fine, but I suddenly my arm hurt, and then when I lifted my head to go and say, "Oh, my arm hurts,"
everything just kept going.
I just saw stars. Really badly, and I was like, "Oh!" And then the thing is, I made the mistake of telling them. Obviously, please tell them. Don't keep that to yourself when you're giving blood. But when it was my time to leave, I was swarmed by nurses and healthcare assistants. So it was no matter what direction I fell, I was going to fall onto someone.
Great.
Even though by that point I was absolutely fine. It was literally 5 seconds of oh, that feels a bit funny, and then another 3 or 4 minutes of donating blood, and then I was done.
Yeah, but if you fall, you could crack your head open.
Oh yeah, no, I was grateful.
And you've
for
already
it,
lost a lot of blood.
It was so embarrassing to be I'm okay, I'm not gonna feel pain, and they're just okay, that's fine, but we're gonna frog march you to this chair.
I think I passed out on a bus once.
Did you fall
asleep?
But
I don't think that it wasn't fainting. I'd been awake for way longer than 24 hours, and I went to a house party, and then I got the bus. I didn't sleep at the house party because I had insomnia for a very long time. Didn't know about it. I got the bus back at the very first bus in the morning, and I remember being on the bus. I remember blinking, and then I remember being 4 or 5 stops ahead of where I started the blink.
Yeah, that was probably you fell asleep.
I think, a micro sleep kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened.
Yeah, that's not a Kent bus. Anyway, Dracula.
Very strange. Dracula. Great film. Watch it. No.
So they're so Van Helsing is well, where's all the blood? There's no blood on there's bite marks and there's no blood. It's clearly a vampire, which I really love as just being yeah, we're going straight for it's the people who, when you don't have, when people are on board with it being a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Rather than being oh, it's just a sickness or something. It was no, it's fucking zombies, arm up, get out. This is it's a vampire.
You don't want to jump to zombie too quickly, because that can lead to a lot of issues downhill if you assume zombie and it's not.
Yeah, zombie, but you find out you can say that, well, that's in the flesh. And that ends so well.
But you don't want to be it's a zombie apocalypse, and then the first person you just see to be kind of sleepy. That's a bad combination
kind
of
events. Sleepy, their dog, their new puppy bit them a few days ago.
Yeah. You don't want that to be the first person you come across after you assumed that there's a zombie apocalypse.
You'd not fess up, though, would you?
What, have you got bit?
No, as in if you accidentally killed someone at the start of the zombie apocalypse, but then the rest of the people you killed were zombies, you'd you know.
Well, if you've assumed it's a zombie apocalypse and it's not, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
But I think if it's a zombie apocalypse and the world is technically in end stage,
yeah,
I don't think anyone would care in particularly.
I think the person that you killed might care.
Yeah, but he's dead, so
yeah.
What are you going to do about
it?
Come back. Oh no!
Is he going to bite me? I think at that point the rules change.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I mean, yeah, I think so.
I think that the rules of life kind of change. I mean, you'd probably feel guilty about it, but I think morally, I don't think anybody out there would
God would understand.
I mean, at that point, you have to question why God allowed a zombie apocalypse to happen.
True.
Second coming of Christ.
But as
clearly,
I assume
they didn't say he was going to be in a fit state.
if you come across any survivor in a zombie apocalypse, you kind of have to assume they've done some terrible things too.
Yeah.
That's just how the world works in that time. Nobody can be a good person in the zombie apocalypse, and that's okay.
Anyway, so Lucy
Yeah.
is then guarded by Harker, her fiance, and her dad, and they're like, "Oh, we'll move her." And they move her from her like upstairs, kind of technically difficult to get into room to a ground floor bedroom.
Yeah. Although
they surround her with garlic.
The most amount of garlic I think I've ever seen.
It's so much garlic. It's so funny.
Put garlic in this. Put garlic in this recipe, and you use, about 1 clove less than they have in the movie.
An adequate amount of garlic for a spaghetti bolognese is what I think you mean.
Yeah.
In this film.
1 roomful.
Yeah. One room full of clothes.
1 table room.
So
is that a metric room or an imperial room?
It's an imperial room.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, I know. So he goes to get Renfield out of the asylum.
Yes.
Where his conversation with, again, Leslie Nielsen, the Leslie Nielsen and Renfield scenes are incredible. Every single one is great. Because as he's like, Dracula's hanging upside down, talking to Renfield, and Renfield's like climbing to stand.
He's like, wait 1 second,
head.
like interrupts Dracula and then stands on his head to talk to him so that they're facing the same direction, like they're facing the same way.
It's such a perfect level of stupid. Because as Dracula's explaining things, he's just like, I'm feeling lightheaded. I have a blinding headache.
And then he just straight up collapses.
Yeah. And Dracula breaks off the bars of the cage, the room, and flies down to the floor, and then Renfield just jumps.
It's like, I expected you to climb down. Yes, that
last. Oh, that's such a good... That scene is incredible.
Because it's played so straight as well. Like, he doesn't tell him off or laugh at him. He's just like, I expected you to climb down.
Yeah, it's just like, wow, you are incredibly stupid.
And when Leslie Nielsen as Dracula says you're incredibly stupid, you are.
But Renfield gets rid of some of the garlic, and then pervs on the Lucy.
Yeah, he like sticks his head under the covers, and it's one of those things where it's obviously it's gross, but at the same time he is playing like this creepy, gross character.
Yeah,
and it's very clear that he wouldn't be able to see anything because that's not how light works.
Yeah. But he gets carried away.
Yeah, she wakes up because he's not subtle.
Yeah. He gets another enema. Well, he's like, I know what I'm going to give you. And he's like, no, not another enema.
But yeah, he gets flung back into the
I love
prison
the
cell.
enema joke because there is no need for it. There's no need for the running enema gag. And that might be the worst sentence I've ever said.
The idea of a running enema is unpleasant on a few different levels.
It would make you gag, to be fair.
Yeah, even worse than a running enema gag.
Yeah.
But yeah, he gets thrown back in his cell, and he's like, I saw everything.
Yes, I saw nothing. I saw everything.
It's so dumb.
And she's also quite clearly in like a full-length nightgown.
Yep.
So it's like,
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, oh wow, because it's a Victorian. It's another sort of jab at Victorian England where it's like, oh, an ankle.
Yeah.
It's like, I saw everything. It's like, so what did you see? I saw her clothes.
I
saw her from the shin down. I mean, they do. To be fair, these girls, Mina and Lucy, are wearing the most 80s like sweetheart neckline, really low cut tops all the time.
They're wearing like the 80s version of Victorian.
Yeah, it's sexy Victorian clothes.
Yeah. So Dracula takes her away, drinks her blood, and runs off with her.
Yeah. So that time he doesn't because they come in, but then he
kills
we've
her.
got the scene after where he lures her away.
Yeah.
By trying to lure her out with his voice, but not her lady in waiting. And the instruction.
No, that's the other. Is
that the other one?
Yeah, that's when he's getting Mina. Yeah, because Lucy Lucy dies and is like in the coffin.
Yeah, he drinks her blood and
she drains his blood. Yeah.
And then it turns out she is alive and a vampire. So Harker and Van Helsing have to go and
Van
kill her.
Helsing is like she's gonna wake up. Like she's been drained. She's gonna like at least have someone there to watch her coffin. And the father's like, no, don't be stupid. Which is a weird reaction after being like, oh yeah, shit, vampires.
They switch between agreeing that there's a vampire and not instantly.
Yeah.
Like, it's back and forth throughout the film. It doesn't make any sense.
And she does transform.
Yeah,
and
she gets
wakes up as a vampire.
Kills
and
the
immediately eats the or drains, I guess, the gravedigger keeper.
Yeah, the groundskeeper.
Groundskeeper.
She's just like, I'm alive in a coffin. Oh no.
Yeah, it's very fake. There, faux damsel in distress to lure him in. And then she.
This is the only time in the film she gets a personality.
Yeah. Oh god. And yeah, the personality is like
horny.
femme fatale, horny. Sex.
That's it. Because she
sex
goes
killer.
outside to the guy and she's like, I've always wanted to sleep with you. Why don't you sleep with me? And he's like, oh, I don't know. He's very British about it.
So he must be with. Yeah, he's engaged to Mina. So this is Lucy. So and she's like, "Oh, you've always wanted me. I've always wanted you. Finally, we can do together." But I'm engaged to Mina, and you're dead. And she's like, "I'm not dead. I'm undead." And then he replies, "Well, I'm not unengaged."
Yes,
it's when she's like, he's like, "But I'm British," and she just squeezes her tits and are like, "So are these." But Van Helsing kind of bursts in with a cross to get rid of her, and then they have to use the stake to kill her in her coffin, and this is where all of the rest of the blood comes from.
This is the best scene. Yeah, there's a surprising amount of blood in this film, and it's in 2 scenes in particular.
This scene
this is the pitch perfect vomit, but it's blood.
Yeah.
This is an incredible scene.
Just Harker hits her with the stake, and just so much blood. It's like, she's not dead yet, hit her again.
Well, Van Helsing gives her the hammer and the stake.
He hides.
Mallet, and he hides around the corner. Yeah. He's like, "Why are you hiding?" And he's like, "No,
he's like, "You have to do it. It needs to be a loved one."
Yeah, it's just bullshit. He doesn't want to get covered in blood.
Just like when he's like, "Hit her again." And there's so much. There's enough blood that I kind of watching it. I was like, I think that might be a mistake amount of blood.
Yeah,
like that might be a
lot.
Goof amount of. There is so much blood.
Oh, you think something in the mechanics went wrong?
Maybe.
I wouldn't have put it past Leslie Nielsen to just like turn the switch up when no one was looking.
Yeah, or like maybe the director
increase
or
the
something.
Pressure. So they expect like a fine mist, and instead they get pummeled.
It's an impressive amount of blood. Like they are head to toe drenched in blood.
Yeah.
He's like, you hit her. I think she's still got some more blood. Hit her again.
She's almost
and he's like,
dead.
She can't possibly. And then he's like, I need to go and check. They come back and like the doctor's like, oh my god, what happened? And they explain we've put her to rest for good now.
I like him wiping himself down with the tiniest handkerchief, teeny tiniest handkerchief.
And he's like, I need to see my fiance, and he's just like, maybe you should change. It's just like, yes.
And then maybe you should take the servants' entrance.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we went in through the front door.
Drenched in blood. Is this when Dracula they're talking about who the vampire could be?
Yeah.
And they're like, it's Dracula, and Dracula turns up, and you have the argument between Van Helsing and Dracula, where they're both trying to get the last word.
No, they go round.
So it might have been just before this.
Yeah, they have that discussion, and they're like, who could it be? And he's round the corner, and he's just listening in.
He gets announced.
Yeah.
He's like, who could it be? Count Dracula's here to see you. And he walks in, and then him and Van Helsing do have the last word.
Yeah.
It starts a great joke.
So they decide to trap trap Dracula by having a ball that he'll be invited to.
That is after, so he gets to Mina first.
Yeah, he mind controls Mina, but it is the servant being mind controlled as well.
That's the one, yeah. It's
great,
so
great
funny.
joke.
He's like, stand up, and they both stand up. No, not you. Sit down.
Yeah.
And they both sit. She just sits down. Obviously, Amina's standing at this point. She just sits down on the floor.
Yeah.
He's like, come towards me. And she just, watch the footstool. Oh, and she's just flat on the floor again.
It's the opening joke of that when he's like, go into the room, open the door, close the door. Mina, you are in the closet.
Yeah. Watch out for the footstool.
They walk into each. It's such a stupid, a dumb series of jokes.
Yeah.
And it's so funny.
Yeah, it goes on for a while, but it is so funny.
It's so dragged. Oh man.
Yeah, he gets right, and then him and Mina are dancing before he bites her. But when they're doing the whole dance, I was kind of like, the dancing was funny and ridiculous, but the setup of that room and the amount of candles, I was fully expecting his cloak to set fire, and that be the bit from this scene. But no, it didn't happen.
There's no bit in this scene.
No,
It's just
dance.
dancing. There's no bit.
And then
the shadows. The shadows have sex at the end.
Yeah, and then
The
when he
shadow
bites her
shaggy,
neck,
yeah,
she
that's
says,
it.
"Oh no, hickeys."
But he puts her back, and then she's horny because she wakes up and she's wearing like a little scarf.
Yeah, this is when she's like grabbing Harker and making him touch her boobs. He's like,
"What about these?"
"We've been engaged for 5
Oh, 'cause
years."
he's like-
never.
Because she's like, "Will you do something for me?" He's like, "I'll do anything. I'll do anything for you. Touch these."
He looks so uncomfortable. It's so funny.
And he's like, "I'll do anything for you. We're going to get married. I'll do absolutely anything for you. Anything? Yes. Touch this." Grabs her
And then
ass
so he like she puts his hands on her bum, and then her dad walks in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's
And
like,
he
"This
is
me."
shocked.
Yeah, he's so angry. You've only been engaged for 5 years, and you think you can touch her like that? I love those like one-line jokes that just happen.
Yeah,
and then they move on. But she's convinced. Well, she convinces him that he did it without asking.
Yeah.
So then, then it's when they go to trap Dracula with the ball, because there's a big
Van
mirror
Helsing,
there
like-
in the.
Yeah, well, they throw a ball because Dracula can't resist
Yeah.
a show.
And, yeah, they're not wrong.
Can't, no? He turns up, asks to dance with Mina.
Oh, yeah,
says something
and
like,
enthralls
"Would you
that
be-"
guy that's like, "Excuse me, can't you see I'm having a conversation with the lady?" And this guy just throws his own drink in his own face.
Well, he says, like, "You finished your drink," and he just throws it at Jessica, "So I have."
And the dance is wonderful. This is one of my favourite scenes.
Oh, the dance is brilliant. The dance is, like, it's surprisingly well choreographed.
Yeah.
Well,
For
yeah,
the
especially
dumb-
when it cuts to the mirror and it's
Yeah.
you can't see Dracula because he's a vampire.
Impressive filmmaking, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it's a lot of wire work.
It looked pretty good.
But yeah, it is really funny when they think that everyone's like amazed with their beautiful dancing.
Yeah.
I'm not watching
Not
Mina
looking
in the mirror like yeah.
So he's like, "Hurry, we should do this," and they play a faster song.
Yeah. It's a Shardash, isn't it?
Yeah. You say that, I don't know what that is.
It's a very popular Scandinavian piece of music, very famous dance music.
Cool.
It's it's one of those ones quite easy to say, very hard to spell.
Yeah.
Begins with a CZ, I think.
I literally never would have guessed.
Mm.
You could have asked me how to spell it. I never would have gone CZ,
No.
if I'm honest. But yeah, they do the dance. He notices that they've seen the mirror. He just kind of smashes the mirror and then runs away.
Yeah.
Like, leaps out of the window. And Van Helsing decide, like, they need to find him before sundown, before sunup, but or else he'll just be hidden forever. They need to let Renfield go, because he will return to his master.
Yes.
And then you get a scene of Renfield being put in prison. He's like, "You'll be put in prison for a very long time." It's the same prison guide as well.
Yeah.
Oh, we missed the best joke.
Oh, at the
In the
start
whole
where it was
thing.
like, "Oh, it's horrible here."
It's terrible. Renfield's in prison and someone pokes their head under the door, like in a hole in the wall, and he's like, "Oh, it's awful. You need to get me out. We'll never make it." It's a guard.
Yeah.
That was a very airplane kind of
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah.
But
I
they
do
end
like
up-
how they're like, "Okay, we'll hide and watch Renfield," and Renfield's like, they want to follow me, I'll lose them, and he just walks in a couple of different directions in the same garden.
He just kind of jerks his body around.
Yeah, he's like,
well.
And
then he just goes, yeah, lost him. And starts walking towards, because they've got a chapel. There's like an old chapel.
Yeah. I feel like if this was made again, like a film like this was made again, they'd explain too much of it.
Yeah.
Like there's next to no detail in this film, like at all. They're just, you never really quite understand the geography of the two buildings. You have no idea where the cells are in the build. They're just these places in the world that they keep going to. There's no detail. They're like, he's in a church. You never really get told that or shown it. It's great. I love it. It's so sparse for information. But yeah, they go to the church and fight Dracula. That's pretty much, that's it.
Yeah, they fight Dracula.
Yep.
Dracula's like holding a guy up by his throat. Is like, you can never do anything to hurt me, and he just pokes him in the eyes.
Yeah.
And in the end, Renfield accidentally kills him as well.
Yeah.
Well, I like Renfield at the beginning of that fight where he's like, "You have to punish me, Miles. You have to punish me now. Holds him up by his throat. He's like, "Yeah, very good. Yep, you've done a great job. Put me down."
He just throws him down the stairs.
Oh yeah, and they have a big fight, and
there's a lot of like they may have like a stake and a cross.
Yeah.
But like he snaps the stake in half, and then the cross just kind of like it gets thrown on the ground and just falls apart.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then they realise that the sun's coming up, so they can like break some of the windows and let some sunlight in.
Yeah.
So he flies into the corner as a bat chiller.
Renfield opens the window and he's like, "This way, master."
And he just burns to death.
Just kills him. It's such a quick, sudden ending.
Yeah. And then Renfield just like piles up the ash and puts a little smiley face in it.
Yeah. You're looking like your own self once again. Oh man, this film.
It's a decent time. Like I did find it funny.
It's so easy to watch.
Yeah, it's funny, but I didn't enjoy this as much as I thought I was going to be honest.
Again, is this the worst film, I think, Leslie Nielsen's, his comedy career?
It doesn't, I don't think it shines a light to Airplane.
No,
nowhere near. And it doesn't shine a light to like Young Frankenstein or the Naked Gun series or Spy Hard. Like, it's not, it's definitely the worst. Like, it's still funny though. It shows you how good the other Leslie Nielsen films are.
Yeah.
If like this is a mediocre film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's a mediocre comedy and it's like by far the worst Leslie Nielsen comedy.
And the humour hasn't aged particularly badly.
No, it was stupid back then.
Yeah, I find that with stupid like slapstick silly comedy is that
it was stupid then, it's stupid now.
Yeah, but it's still not stupid, like silly slapstick comedy now.
There's still some racist stuff.
Is there in this one? I can't. Oh, is it just like the? And I say just like just a little bit of racism at the start. Is it the?
Yeah, there's some stuff, and like the women don't really do anything. But I don't know if that's like a parody of.
I don't think they do a whole lot in Dracula.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is it kind of like a step from Dracula, or is it? I imagine it is. I don't know. But they are lampshades and dresses.
I read Dracula a long time ago.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I've seen so many other like iterations.
Yeah.
That are like, fuck if I know what the original text is like anymore. I don't remember what happened in that and what is just my like weird fleeting memories of Van Helsing, the world's most forgettable film.
Yeah. Well, luckily there's another film to take that place, and it is also a Dracula film. It's this one.
Yes. But I had a decent time. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be like this like if you like this isn't the Leslie Nielsen film. No. I'd recommend people watch.
If you've got an hour and a half and you want to watch a good comedy,
if it's on,
watch this film.
Go for it.
If it's on, watch it. If you want to watch a good comedy, there are much better, very similar films that you could watch.
Definitely better ones out there.
I mean, I'm quite tempted to watch that new Renfield.
Oh, that was all right.
The new Renfield's pretty good. Yeah, the new Renfield's quite funny.
Because it's Nick Cage, for anyone who hasn't seen the 10,000 Amazon adverts for it.
Yeah.
It's quite good. It is quite funny. Again, Nick Cage plays a great Dracula in that.
Oh, who's Renfield? Is it Daniel Radcliffe?
Nicholas Hoult in that one.
Nicholas Hoult, yeah. That's the one. The other British actor.
Yeah.
The one of two, yeah.
The other British actor. The young British actor.
The good one. Oh, yeah. Hot take.
Hot take. But yeah, I don't know. Again, they don't make films like it, and there's no reason they couldn't other than skill.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing that happens in these films, this style of film, that is, like, unacceptable to do now. It's just skill of comedy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Leslie Nielsen obviously makes Dracula, but it's not a one-man show. Like, everyone else is having to put in so much effort. They're all working together on this, shared... This shared continuity comedians. Of how the comedy works in this film.
Yeah. They're all great comedians. Like, everyone in all of Leslie Nielsen films, most of them. I just remembered who's in Naked Gun.
Oh, yeah. That's right, he's dead now, it's fine.
A lot of people in these films, like, they all have to be good comedians to kind of keep the jokes going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, land them properly. And they have to be really well written and really well edited. And it's skill. And I don't know if audiences would be as receptive to this kind of comedy.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones where it's aged. The age now gives it a little bit of charm.
Yeah, and I think the older it gets, the sort of more.
And like it's so hammy that it. I can't. Yeah, I'm really surprised that it's 1995. I thought it was so. I thought it was 80s, like early 80s.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Hammer horror style.
Yeah.
Like it's absolutely like a Hammer horror parody.
Yeah.
We need to do a Hammer horror series because Hammer horror is such a thing. Such a bizarre cultural
scary
thing.
For little Helena. Never watched.
Did you watch any?
No, gosh, no. Banned.
No, they're not scary. They're bizarre. They're not. They're not that scary.
Yeah, but would you take that chance?
Yes.
Looking at it, so I was just thinking, like
Alien at like 11,
like the ridiculous hair and all that kind of thing. This is gonna most likely have been a parody of Bram Stoker's Dracula, which is the Gary Oldman one that came out a couple of years before.
Yeah.
Because of the hair and shit like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like they talk about the Dracula, Dracula being the one, but it's also like Hammer horror style.
Yeah,
like it's all like Hammer horror, sexy
blood.
Victorian.
Yeah,
and like the amount of blood and the kind of like aesthetic of Hammer horror, where it's all kind of cheap.
Yeah,
because it was all made in one studio.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they get through a lot of chipboard in this, in this 1800s England.
It's all incredibly cheap, but that's the vibe, and it's just a time to watch it.
Yeah,
it's an okay time to watch it. It's kind of funny.
If I was at home and I was ill and it was on, or it was on one of those, like, I don't know why, but I find films more appealing when they're on like iPlayer, where it's like, oh, this isn't going to be around here for very long, so I'll watch it.
Yeah, well, it's like you don't have to pick it.
This isn't on anything at the moment.
No. Yeah,
I mean, apart from the legal source that we watched it on.
Yep.
Which we are not going to name for copybright reasons.
Yeah, my blank tape.
Yeah, your blank tape.
We all use the blank VHS tape.
Use that blank, like the video from The Ring, but more fun. It's Leslie Nielsen's Dracula Dead and Loving It being passed
but I'm
around
sure it was
on person.
It was on Prime before.
Yeah,
and it went. But
it got cursed.
Yeah,
it got us cursed.
It knew we wanted to watch it, but it was like when I went onto one of those sites that's like, where is this streaming? And it's just like, it's not
nowhere.
It's just not.
It's not.
It's not like, okay, you can pay like 10 quid to buy it on Apple on the Apple Store, and it was like, no,
it's nowhere.
Nope,
it's nowhere.
Not allowed. Made me wonder if it was like because Renfield came out.
The website shrugged at you.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think this is one of those films that disappeared to time, and very few people have seen it. Very few people remember watching it because it's not memorable.
You're saying that there's not people aren't demanding, they're not banging on Amazon's door, being like, "Bring back Dracula Dead and Loving It."
Because again, if you think of Leslie Nielsen comedy, you think Airplane, and if you think, I keep on going to call him the other Mel. If you think of
Mel Brooks,
if you think of Mel Brooks, you think of Young Frankenstein and those types of films. This isn't no one in this film and no one connected to it. This isn't the first film you think about them of.
No. Yeah, this is no one's best piece.
No. And it's not secondary. It's like fourth or fifth.
Yeah, this is like, we keep it on the CV, but we don't put it at the top.
Yeah, like but it's enjoyable. And I don't think my love for this film is nostalgic. I think it's formative. And I think there is a very fine difference between the two.
I feel like when you say that it's a vibe and that's what you love about it, that might be the nostalgia.
Well, no, because I like other films like this that I've never seen before. Like, I don't enjoy it.
Nostalgia is transitional. You can have nostalgia for something, like you can watch something and it make you feel nostalgic even though you haven't seen it before if it reminds you of something else from your childhood.
But it doesn't make me feel nostalgic. Like, I don't find it funny because I did find it funny at some point. I still find it very funny.
Yeah.
And I don't enjoy this film because I used to enjoy it. The jokes still really land for me.
Fair. Okay.
So I think, I don't think it's nostalgic. I think it's more of like, I watched this so much as a kid, and I watched everything Leslie Nielsen
Sorry,
made.
Can you just say that sentence again? I don't think it's nostalgic. I just watched this film so much as a kid.
No, but I watched everything Leslie Nielsen made that I think it shaped my sense of humour at its core.
Yeah.
And now everything else I find funny is somehow related to, like, straight man slapstick.
Ironic, really.
Deadpan surreal. Yeah, it's incredible. Just like deadpan surrealism. I think I just love it.
Yeah.
So out of 10 then, Mikey.
Like, I understand it's a bad film though.
That's fine.
Well,
how many 8 or 9 star out of 10 have we given films that we've immediately followed with, even though it's bad, or started with I know it's bad, but
I think 7.
Nice, yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think 7's like a fair thing. Like, I still find it funny. It's a formative film, and it's so stupid. And some of the jokes that don't land are terrible. And if you don't like this kind of comedy, it is the worst thing you'll ever see.
Oh yeah, if this is not your cup of tea, this would be torture.
Yeah. If you don't like Airplane, will not like this film. But I don't think I've ever met anyone that doesn't like Airplane. Or like this kind of... I don't think I've ever met anyone that likes this kind of film. Or if I have, I've just ignored them.
Oh yeah.
I've removed them from my memory completely.
Yeah, they're grimacing and wincing and like on their phone and stuff, and you're just there like, oh fuck, they love it. Look at them.
Yeah. I don't. I like these films so much that I don't care that you don't like them.
That's lucky.
But I think seven people, 7 Renfields jumping from a window.
Nice. Yeah, I think I'd give this 6.
She's Italians.
6 table rooms of garlic out of 10.
The Imperial
table rooms. It tickled me, and it does tick my boxes. It just doesn't tick it as hard as others. And I have apparently, though, nostalgia is not what drives this film, but I have none of that either to bolster it up any further. But yeah, would watch again. Would willingly watch again.
Yeah, annoyingly, I did not enjoy this one that much. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I found some bits funny, and like I say,
that's allowed.
Yeah, this is all my kind of humor, and that's why it was kind of annoying. That I think I don't know. I
did you watch this before or after Airplane?
Airplane first, then I watched this.
Airplane. Did you watch this before or after Airplane? Airplane.
That would be the problem.
Yeah, that was not the answer to my question.
That would be your mistake.
But yeah, I think
that
it doesn't hold up
mistake.
to Airplane.
Yeah, because I watched
Airplane. I
watched
it the other way around deliberately.
I should have done that. The thing is, I watched them both. There was a 10-minute gap between both for me. So
if you're gonna do that, you need to watch this one first.
Yeah, I should have watched this one first and then followed it with Airplane. But I was like, I'll watch Airplane first because I know that more. Anyway, there's an Airplane episode coming out soon. Anyway,
sizzle! If we hadn't given that away already.
We're doing a couple Leslie Nielsen films. Yeah. I mean, you can't talk about any Leslie Nielsen film without comparing it to Airplane.
No, exactly. But I'd probably give this 4 table rooms of blood coming out of one person. That's a unit of measurement now.
Yeah.
for British undead titties.
Yeah, some bits did make me laugh, and I'm sure if I watched it again at some point, I might enjoy it a bit more. But yeah, it didn't fully land for me, unfortunately.
It's an incredibly easy film to watch.
Yeah,
like it's one of those films that you just kind of have to turn your brain off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and just
which I find immensely easy to do these days.
Yeah, we get better at it. If anything, that's a skill we've picked up.
Take it home, Dan.
Yeah, cool. Well, speaking of turning our brains off, I've been Dan.
I've been Michael.
And I've been Helena.
You can find this podcast on social media at Hilton Pod. That's at HILTM Pod. We're on Discord as well if you want to.
We're on TikTok.
Oh yeah, we've got TikTok, Instagram, all that shit. Yeah.
X.
Yeah, Twitter.
Not X. Called Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah, we're on Discord. Come and tell us how many rooms of garlic do you put in a standard bolognese. We also have a Patreon where you can support the show, so we can find movies like this perfectly legally. What special?
I would have paid. I would have paid to watch this film. I just couldn't.
Yeah,
it was not an option.
That is the annoying thing. Is when it's like just not available. So.
I mean, I would have probably ultimately regretted paying £2.50 or whatever to watch this film, but I would have done it.
I don't have a joke for this week.
Oh, you're fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like you had something serious to say instead. Like
no. I don't.
We're sending the money to Palestine.
I enjoyed this film too much to like conceive thinking of like. There is no. Go watch the film.
Go and watch the film. We'll spend the Patreon money on a room of garlic.
Might be enough garlic.
Yeah.
Just enough for one bolognese. It's not how you make bolognese. You put any garlic in bolognese.
Do you not?
I'm not supposed to.
Yeah,
I put garlic in.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to.
Yeah, well, what do those baloney people know?
Yeah.
Italian cooking
Italians.
with really little garlic.
Bloody Nosferatus.
Italian. That's such a good joke. She's undead. She's a corpse. She's Nosferatu. She's Italian.
Oh, my coffee's being delivered.
Ooh, what, right now?
No.
Okay. It's a bit late for a coffee.
I got my dispatch notification.
Wow.
Oh, okay. You've not just got Starbucks arriving outside. 8 o'clock, no. Perfect time for a latte.
Delivery coffee.
We're too badly coffee snobs at this point to have Starbucks. It's a big boy dripper.
That's a grinder username, right?
I mean, we have a grinder, obviously. We use the grinder and then the big boy dripper, and that makes 2 pour over coffees. So, yeah.
Sorry.